Hi again, Airsoft and YouTubers. It's your warped Uncle Kenny again for his kitchen. Another Airsoft review for you today. This time we are looking at a submachine gun copy. It is the ICS MP5-A5. So here we are, winter again, hence the hat and the plumage. Been kicking the arse out the CQB obviously because the weather's shite. So lots of indoor stuff, so I needed a weapon for the job. And what I did was I followed the SAS's example and I got myself an MP5. Now this is the ICS MP5-A5 tactical version. Now, this is the cheap version, this goes for 140 quid in the UK. The more expensive metal version with the 3-round burst is about 250 quid, and frankly I didn't want the weight and I didn't want the 3-round burst because it's terrible. Very few people ever get the electronics right for that without spending hundreds of pounds, so I didn't bother with that. Plus for 140 quid with this you get the tactical foregrip, you get the nice vert foregrip there, and you get 2 magazines as well, 2 high cap magazines, which is nice rather than just a single one. What you don't get are a battery and charger. But they're usually crap anyway. You usually have to buy decent ones yourself. Me being me, I've used a LiPo battery. This is running a 7.4 volt small LiPo, and that lasted me all day on single shot, no problem at all. The hand grip though, this type of hand grip is much larger than the normal hand grip, so this can take large batteries anyway, if you're still stupid enough to be using the NiCads and nickel metal hydrides. Why have you not went to LiPo? Are you mad? Right, so enough of the abuse. This is it, the MP5. Now it's ideal for CQB, nice and short, small weapon, and it's helped of course by the sliding stock here. So you could use it outdoors, you can get it nice and snug, shoot away quite accurately. You might find problems if you're wearing a big mask though, particularly indoors, getting down to the sights to get a decent sight picture. I found after most of the day, I ran around with that in and I was just using it. Monkey fashion kind of thing, running around like that, shooting wherever I could. Don't blind fire though, kids, that's wrong. Not to worry. So I used it like that most of the day, I didn't even bother with the stock, hence I got the sliding stock version. Accuracy out the box, excellent, I was well impressed. For something with a barrel that's only like 9.5 inches long, it's surprisingly accurate with the .25 BBs. Power out the box is only 320 feet per second, which is excellent. That's all I wanted. You can't have any more than 330 feet per second indoors anyway or you get tossed out. So the 320 feet per second out the box, fine for me. They claim 350 feet per second in the manuals and so forth, but I think if you look at it, it's using really lightweight BBs. So I've not had to take the thing to bits, so I don't know what the internals are like. They're supposed to be okay though. Better than the Jingong versions anyway that I've looked at and tried. When I was in the shop I was comparing this with the Jingong version as well. The Jingong, the markings looked like they'd been put on by a 10-year-old with a crayon, and when you move the fire selector, this one's nice and smooth. Nice little click there. When you move the fire selector on the Jingong one, it sounded like there was a box of cornflakes in there, and it felt really rough, so I wasn't impressed with that, and I went for the ICS version. There's only a 10 quid of difference anyway, so why not? So here we are. I used this at a local CQB site. Great fun with it, dead easy to manoeuvre. As I say, most indoor sites it's single shot only. So with the 7.4 LiPo I get a decent crisp single shot. No problem double tapping idiots in the chest. Now if you're using it outdoors you've got the full auto. Now this is a 7.4 LiPo. So quite a good rate of fire there. Well impressed. I don't know what that'd be like with an 11.1, it'd be amazing, but probably destroy the gearbox obviously, a lot quicker. Now hop up on this type of MP5 tends to be this little lever here. They use this lever system rather than moving the bolt and opening the ejection port like you see on most other guns. Because these are so compact this makes a bit more sense. So no ejection port, none of that nonsense to play with. The bolt does lock back so you can do your HK slap stuff if you pretend to be the SAS. But honestly, you do that too many times, this just comes flying off. Every MP5 that I've ever owned, from PDW, K, SD6, this, do that enough, this will go flying off. They just shatter, they break, they're not built for it, it's just a toy. So there you go. I can't put a silencer on this unless I get a special quick detach one. It doesn't have the basic, the old screw cover over the 14mm bit like most guns do, and like my other PDW had. So that's a pain, I can't use a silencer. But then again, that would be just for looks. I like this, nice and short, getting into the spaces, in there, double tapping, kicking doors in, great fun. The very weapon for the job. So we'll see how the reliability goes, but it all sounds good, it feels good. Although it's plastic, it doesn't feel that bad. The only niggle would be the large plastic handguard is kind of hollow, so there's a bit of movement there. You know, I can move it around and click it in and out of place. It's a bit but I'm toying with the idea of fitting a metal front end to this anyway, or a metal rail system. One of the big flaws with MP5, as far as I'm concerned, was the lack of a rail system. These were designed some time ago, and what you get, the police use, will be like a quick detach rail system, or you can get ICS actually make tactical clip-on rail systems for this. You can also, if you want to go the whole hog, I've seen people using the Landwarrior strike systems. I think it's a version of something that used to be called a swordfish system. And what it is basically it's a long metal rail, full-length pick and tinny rail that replaces the fore and back sights and goes right over the front with a big tatty masher, as we call it here, big steak tenderizer, all metal, and it changes the whole front end and the whole look of the gun. It looks quite smart, adds a fair bit of weight. Wouldn't be too bad with a plastic gun, it's not going to make it really heavy. But it's a thought, might do that to get a rail system. The only thing I was using on this was my tactical torch for blinding people and for seeing in the dark, because it's in the UK here, in Scotland anyway, it gets dark about 3:30 in the afternoon now. So when you're playing indoors it's already quite dull. You need a torch. So a torch on it, brilliant. Just clip it onto one of the rails on the side and off you go. You are Kenny SAS. So I'm loving it so far. It's not broken me yet. It feels really nice, plays really nice. I had no problem with it. It's cheap. It comes with the 2 magazines, which I loved rather than just the 1. It does also come with a little feeder bottle of BBs, .2 BBs. Word on them, shite is the word. Tried them in it and it jammed immediately, wouldn't feed properly. Tossed the BBs away, put in my usual blaster .25s, not a problem. Don't use anything other than really high quality BBs in any gun, to be honest. In the UK here we use the blaster types on most sites and they're brilliant. Never had an issue. Use anything else, jams a go-go. So there you go. The only thing I kept out of that was the feeder bottle itself, threw the BBs away right away. Piece of crap. So it runs well, feeds well with the proper BBs. It'll take a big battery. Runs beautifully, what can I say? It's ideal weapon for CQB. Ideal. Very tight spaces, this is the gun you want. Loved it. I can only recommend it. I bought one. I was daft enough to buy one. So we'll see how it goes. If we get any further problems with it, I'll let you know. But so far, it's the weapon of choice for the CQB. I can only recommend it. So that's the ICS MP5-A5 tactical foregrip version. An extra tenner over the normal version, that gives you a lot of flexibility and you can use the big batteries. So that's my opinion on that one. Back to the studio.